Hi, my name is Paul Friedman. I'm the founder of the Marriage Foundation. I used to be a divorce mediator over 20 years ago. If you're a subscriber, you already know that. And you know that our take on marriage is very different at the Marriage Foundation. Not only is it positive, but it's very scientific. So I don't speak in abstracts in these videos. I speak in very concrete terms. This topic is written by a woman. My husband and I don't have anything in common. Well, obviously you do, but I'm going to go into this deeper. What you have in common is that you're married. You're soulmates. You both found each other attractive enough, and you validated each other well enough so that you chose to live together for the rest of your lives. Now, what you didn't do, and it isn't your fault, this is a universal problem because of all the dis and misinformation in the world. You didn't understand what you were getting into. You didn't understand what was expected of you. But more along the lines of this topic, you didn't understand where compatibility is so important in a marriage. What do we mean by compatibility? Most people mean that you both enjoy bowling, or that you enjoy sports, or that you enjoy this or that. And so you are compatible. Or you both smoke cigarettes. Or maybe it's deeper. You both belong to the same religious group or the same political party. But is that really what compatibility is all about? Don't we expect of ourselves that we're going to change over the years anyway? Yes, what we're talking about is not compatibility on the mundane level of stuff. You're soulmates. You got married to experience two things that you want to achieve as an individual in life, whether you're married or not. And those two things are happiness and love. We take this for so much. We take this for granted so much that we don't even talk about it. We don't talk about what's the purpose of life. No one knows what the purpose of life is. Why you're born. Well, I'll tell you why you're born. You're born to experience happiness and love, but at a very deep level. You see, you're a soul. You have a body. You have a mind. But we are not taught this. The soul is ever new joy. Very happy, very contented, beyond imagination. And love is the very nature of ourselves as souls. And when we get married, our expectation ought to be, we ought to learn that our expectation ought to be to merge ourselves on that very high plane. When you do that, that's all the compatibility you will ever need. But you've lost your focus. Now look, as a woman, you're very different from a man anyway. The chances of compatibility are limited to things like enjoying coffee together or morning walks. Because a woman's perspective and a man's perspective are different based on our physiology, which impacts our mind. Our psychologies are innately different. So all of this to-do about compatibility, take it off the board. Instead, ask yourself, do you admire your husband? Do you still see him in the same light you saw him when you decided he was the man for you? And if not, why not? Do you still feel that he's a good man? And if not, why not? And don't blame him. Ask yourself, if whether you have become overly critical, maybe demanding, maybe you condemn some of his behaviors, because as we get to know each other, it's easy to do that. What you need to do is not be thinking about divorce or separation or how to change him or how to change yourself in these mundane ways. Rather, how do I connect with my husband at this higher level? How do I feel that love? How do I learn? Because this is what it boils down to. We're not taught, and we should be taught in school, that we have a mind. We're not our mind. We don't have a soul. We are the soul, and we have a mind. And the mind gets in the way of joy. The mind gets in the way of happiness and love. And we need to learn how to master it for the sole purpose, pun intended, the sole purpose of opening our hearts and realizing just what we have in our marriage. It would be worth your while to ask yourself, why did I get married? What was my intention? What were my expectations? And you probably don't have good answers. So I have great answers. You know, when I was a divorce mediator, I was shocked at how many people hired me to help them with a divorce. That was over 20 years ago. To help them with a divorce, when I saw them as actually pretty compatible. It wasn't until a young couple asked me to help them save their marriage, even though they had been through therapy. And I took a look at marriage from a different perspective. If you subscribe to the channel, which you should, you'll start learning about this perspective, and it'll click for you. You'll go, wow, this makes total sense. And it does. It's so sensible to get married for love, to get married for happiness. And when we do so, we should have a plan to make that happen. But we don't do that because we're not taught that. You should peruse, if you're willing to spend some time, peruse our website. See what we have. Maybe you'll want to get one of my books that I've written. You could take a look at the reviews on Amazon, and you could take a look at the courses we have. We have a course for women which would help you understand marriage at a depth that you can't even imagine right now. And we want to help you here at the Marriage Foundation. When you get the course, you also get our counselors, and it's really beneficial. Please see me again. Watch the videos that we produce. You could leave a comment. You could say, I'd like to hear a video about this. And what I do is I pass those along, and they often come back, and we do those videos. So I'm Paul Friedman. I founded the Marriage Foundation to teach this new way of seeing marriage that will give you everything you need. Thanks for spending time with me. God bless you, and take care.